Okay, hello everyone. I'm opening up with a picture of the map again here. You know, I use this quite a bit. And the other day we talked about the tweet from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo talking about Singapore, the embassy keeping its lights on. And the connection that I made, of course, was the Malaysia flight and that there might be something else to do with that. But I neglected to complete the map study here, and so I wanted to show you what's going on. And before I do that, let me just make a couple of real quick comments because, of course, I'm still suspicious of a great number of things. First of all, I forgot to mention this morning. Hello, everyone, as you come in. I forgot to mention that Trump has an alliance now, an agreement with Peter Thiel of Palantir to do medical tracking. So this is evidence more of Trump's going down the road of surveillance of American citizens using this Wuhan virus as the excuse. So I forgot to bring that up in my list of things this morning, amongst others like the Syrian missile attacks and other things. But this is pretty important because this shows that the surveillance is still very much on Trump's agenda. So Trump has made this move with Peter Thiel of Palantir to do this medical tracking of us. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that for you. And also, I wanted to mention that John Solomon made a correction in his, it wasn't so much a correction as it was a clarification. Last week, he said that, or earlier this week, actually, it was last week, I think, that there would be indictments coming very soon. And he made a clarification on that. And what he wanted to say was that he did not mean that there were going to be a large number of these indictments, but possibly a small number, and it was a possible. It wasn't for sure. So all those who said that were using that as a basis for saying the big indictments are coming, John Solomon said no. The clarification is that the investigations are looking like they may come out with a small number of indictments and probably insignificant ones. So I wanted to point that out. Okay, let's get back to the map here. So Mike Pompeo brought this information up. Sorry about the shadows. I can't help that. Brought this information up about Singapore. So I wanted to show this to you again, okay, so that you'll know. And this was pointed out to me. I don't know if he'd want me to tell his name on here, so I will refrain. But I know he watches my things, or he wouldn't have pointed this out to me. So he'll know that I'm grateful for this. And honestly, this makes a lot of sense. Not just my concern about protecting the information on that Malaysia flight that disappeared, but this is probably what it is. Here's the South China Sea right here. Okay, this is all of this part of the South China Sea right here. If you'll notice, look at even though these are islands, they'd be very hard to navigate. Okay, if you were coming from somewhere over here and you wanted to get to India from this direction, you'd have to be doing a lot of, you know, serpentining, however you say, through here, if you could even get through. And the only places you get through are these different breaks here, or come down through the Arafura Sea. And I suspect that this is probably not the best area. I don't know what this is like, but it looks like it's probably very shallow. I don't know. Of course, the area around here is shallow too, but this is still a long way to go. You're adding thousands of miles to your travel. So, what this wonderful tactician pointed out to me was the Straits of Malacca right here. This is what the U.S. and its allies are concerned about. If China takes control outside of their territorial waters in the South China Sea, they could cut off this strait, which is the easiest way to get around this landmass to, Thailand, Burma, uh, India, and even on up to these areas here. And of course, you've got Diego Garcia, which I talked about the other day, and I've lost it here, right here, which is right there. So, in other words, it just makes sense that we've got to keep this Strait of Malacca open. It's as important in a lot of ways as is uh, the Gulf of Oman here, the strait right there through the Gulf of Oman, right here around Saudi Arabia, and of course the Persian Gulf with the Strait of Hormuz. You see how that works? So these straits are very important to keep open as sea lanes, not just for cargo and all of that, but also to make sure that these aren't shut off from military access to these different places. So I wanted to show you that so that you know a little bit more about the situation around Singapore. So it makes sense that they're watching this very closely because they are concerned that either China will uh, inhibit the traffic coming down through here to go through the Strait of Malacca, or that they'll just shut off, pardon me, I'm burping, or just shut off the Strait of Malacca completely, which would be very difficult uh, unless they took this over militarily. Uh, but I guess they're saying that that's certainly a possibility at this point. So anyway, I wanted to show that to you. I won't keep you for very long, but I just wanted to mention those three things and show you again how important a map study is. And if I had been paying attention here rather than just worrying about this thing with the whole deal with China obtaining some of this newer technology, I would have actually said that. So that was all that oversight was on me, and I want to thank the gentleman who gave me this information and said that this is the concern right here, and I can certainly understand that. The bad thing is, like I said, that it's our own people that have given China all of this ability to do what they've done. So we've been sold out by our own people, and we've got to keep that in mind. And of course, uh, no, I don't trust Pompeo still, despite the fact that I see this. All right. Thank you again to the gentleman that sent me that information, and thanks to all of you. I hope that was of some interest to you. There's the whole deal right there that you can see what's going on. Okay, when you talk about that strait and you have sea traffic coming from this way, it's a lot easier to come on down up through here than to go all the way around. And same if you're coming from this way, you'd have to go all the way down through here when you can just take that shortcut through the Straits of Malacca there. All right. Okay, that's all I got for you. Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, this is where the airplane went missing. Yes, it is. From Malaysia, it was going to Beijing. That's why I brought that up the other day. So I was concerned that there was something else going on here, and who knows? It could be that too. But certainly from a geopolitical map study point of view of just strategic value, this Strait of Malacca is very important, and that was extremely important for him to point out. Okay, all right. Hey, everybody, take care. We'll talk to you later.